Alright, what is going on, everybody? This is Apxche here, and we are going to be doing a VOD review for our boy Blaze, better known as Dot in the Mid. Why is that his name? I don't know. But hey, we don't ask those questions around here, right? So, we are currently on Nubani playing some ranked, and obviously he's playing some Sojourn. I'm pretty sure he stays on her basically the whole match. He might switch a little bit later, but I think for the most part this is who he plays. We will be skipping around a lot because I don't want to dive too much on like things that are just like really obvious, right? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to talk about where I believe people or him specifically should be playing, just so we don't have to like watch this whole thing and be like, oh, like talk about the same thing over and over and over again, right? So I'm going to put the camera up high, pause the video, right? So as you can see, we have most of the team up here, somebody down here, somebody down here, right? So when I think of positioning, I think about what the person what the person that I'm looking at's job is, and they're also the character they're playing, right? So Winston, high mobility, can go up and down. Same thing with Life Weaver as well as the Baptiste. And then when it comes to the Bastion, it's a little half and half, right? I'm pretty sure he could probably boop himself up here, but I don't know how consistent that is. And with the Sojourn, I don't know, it's probably the same thing, right? It probably can get up to certain parts, but probably not always, right? So let's just see. So if this is where we had to defend, right? Obviously, when it comes to the enemy's pathing, they have, what, 4 pathways? They can either go through main, they can go through high ground, they can go underneath high ground, which we will signify with a blue arrow, right? Or they can wrap around the right side, right? So this is their pathing, right? So obviously, within this pathway, they will always have more control of the right side, unless we give them left. And I mean, depending on how you want to play it, maybe that could be okay, because that's also, very exposed, things like that, right? So it really will all depend. So either we can all shift to the right, or we can have a solo person, with having like a solo person on the left, which I don't think would be bad. So maybe something that he could have done is if we had the rest of the team on the right side, he could have solo played here. But I think based off his team being on the left side, you could probably flip that and have him over here. One thing I would say is, especially during the beginning of the round, since we don't really need to push up here, whoever's up here will get information for him. He can sit back here and just make sure nothing pushes through here and through here. And if they do, he does have an escape route, which could be that way for the most part. I don't think he would ever cross there, but yeah. So basically, just get information on these sides here, and then can back up, unless he's playing here solo, right? But we don't need to be walking up towards spawn. Big no-no. Right, this is the start of the round. So as you can see here, he's kind of already looking for like a flank and stuff like that. With that noise right there, he's already given his position away. But since we are in lower rank lobbies, they probably have no clue what's going on. So he is behind them. If they were smart, they would just peel back and fight him. But they're going to continue going forward. As you can see, healing and blaze, not healing, aiming and blaze don't belong in the same sentence. Yeah. So, one thing I would like to say is just because the play he made almost worked, or if it would have worked, doesn't make it a good play, right? It's really not good to get into bad habits when it comes to doing things, especially in lower ranks, because then what will happen is you'll try it in a higher rank and it'll get you killed or eliminated, however you want to say it, YouTube. And you'll lose your game or you'll lose points, right? So my thing is, obviously that's the purpose of learning. When you play by yourself, you just learn through experience, right? But if we can skip those experiences, you'll win more games, you'll build better habits, and you won't struggle with things like that, right? So let's avoid just solo flanking, especially when there's no way for your team to help you, okay? Okay. Another thing too, just don't be afraid to like spam your mobility when you're coming out of spawn, especially if you're so far away from the fight. Just get back as fast as you can. Good slide out. Be aware of your health though. Boom. This is where experience comes in. That's a Reaper. You're a Sojourn. Basically, you'll never win up close unless you already have a fully charged right click and you hit him in the head and then burn his body down. But like for the most part, if he's up close, you need to get away. You need to create separation. Don't create separation, you die. All right, so real quick, I like this. I like that you're getting an angles. I like that you're shooting. Boom. But real quick, we are going to talk about defense, right? Because obviously we did the first defense. Here's the second defense, right? This area. So when we think about pathing, obviously enemies can go through here, enemies can go through here, enemies can go all the way around, right? So with that being said, especially if the card's already here, we don't have to just always play here. We could play from the right side as well. I'm pretty sure you can see my thingy. But with that being said, one thing that you're going to notice is that we are going to all be playing through mid, right? We don't need to do that. We can get angles through here, which technically is still kind of part of mid, but it's another angle. We can go through here, right? We can go through here. Obviously, I don't want to just do random flank missions, right? But what I do want you to avoid is if you're playing and you notice that your whole team's staring down mid, they have cover, they have a tank that just won't die. Maybe you should get another angle, right? Because maybe we're doing a lot of damage and they're going back behind the corner, and you're like, well, they're gone, and then they come back full health. But from here, you can be some type of like kill security, right? So definitely want to put that out there so that we can make sure that we're working on that as well. And I'm actually going to leave it in a top-down view so we can see a little bit better of what's going on. Here we are.
This ends now.
You pop your ult. That's another thing too. When you pop your ult on Sojourn, don't just spam the right clicks. Use your left click. It'll help you build up your right clicks faster because they're already kind of auto-charging, but you can make it even faster. As well as like just putting extra damage out, right? Also, don't spam the tank. Try to look for, shots into the back line. And like I was saying, if you would have been over here, it would have been a lot easier to shoot into the back line because the tank's playing this corner. Loaded, just die.
How's it going?
For the most part, I feel like a lot of things are going to be similar, so I don't want to harp too much on everything. Now you're playing on Soldier 76. Sprint, my boy, sprint! As part of your ability, let's go, 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 go! What are we doing? We're walking with Soldier? This is crazy. So we lost the healer. But then we refragged and got one back, so we should have the advantage now. I'll try to get out of this little either way. Good rocket. Would have used it a little earlier, but hey, you used it. That's all that matters. Alright, quick little tip, because I already know you're going to do it. You're going to try to push the cart for a bit. Let the support push the cart. Just walk up, get that damage, build that ult. Don't be afraid to just dump them rockets, man. Be comfortable using your abilities. A quick thing that I would say, I should have made a point a little bit earlier, but recognizing opportunities, right? So, for example, when that bomb, that diva bomb, gets thrown over, and they don't have any shields, they're going to have to run away, right? So, with that information being known, they have no shields, diva bomb's going to go over top, that's probably going to hit somebody. I would just sprint down mid. Why? Because if it hits anybody and they're not hidden, you kill them. Or if you get a few shots into them and it hits them, they die, right? As well as, that bomb's giving you space. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't take the space, if you allow them to hide from it and then come back out, then the bomb Loki didn't do anything, right? So. As the supports push, walk up. Boom, pathing, because I know you don't know the maps, right? Map knowledge is important, so we're going to learn. From here, if you want to get to high ground, there's a stairwell. Stairwell will take you up here. From here, there's 2 doors. This left door will take you here. This right door will either take you to this balcony or to this walk around here. Right? So, see where I'm at already? You could have already been sprinting up and you could have been playing here already. Just popping off shots as they come out of spawn, slowing them down, getting ult charge.
Check. Affirmative.
Like, look how far your tank is compared to you. You know? Which makes sense, right? Tank should be in the lead, but the tank's already past the choke. Instead of fighting this first choke, it's getting ready to fight the next one. Yeah, Volt. So I would look to use her ult. So they're gonna make a push here. With that tree up, it's gonna be really hard to get kills, so we should be backing up here. Boom, another learning point. Alright. You died because you overextended yourself. Play near cover. Cover is cool, right? Because when you're behind a wall, you can't take damage, right? So you have cover, you have cooldowns, and your cooldowns, as Sojourn or Soldier, Sojourn has a slide, Soldier 76 has a sprint. So if you're stuck here and you realize that, okay, they're going to start blowing me up, you can sprint back to the corner instead of walking, or sprint to this angle, wherever you feel is necessary, right? Or just you can sprint and just evade shots, right? And then obviously your HP. Once your HP runs out, you are no longer living and you can't fight anymore, right? So just make sure you're using those three things as resources. Just really think about that, right? So always kind of play near cover. So as you can see, for example, the Diva. Oh, you're on Diva and you're in the open. Yes, but I have a lot of health and I also have a defense matrix. When I realize that I'm in trouble, I'm going to pop my defense matrix and I'm going to back up to that corner, right? Because I know once this goes down, all I have, if I'm not in cover, is my health to keep me alive. And I don't want to only rely on my health, because if my health gets depleted, I'm no longer a character. So, playing the corner. And by playing this corner, I'm able to fight their tank without exposing myself to the rest of their team. Compared to if I'm playing here, getting shot at by 5, getting shot at by 1, while I'm still doing my job contesting the cart. And as long as my teammates play behind me and do the same thing, it'll force these guys to have to walk up. So you could take some of that into your gameplay as well.
This ends.
As you can see, they walked up. Better sprint around that corner. As you can see, playing straight up is really hard, and you're not really able to get any shots off. So maybe think about looking for a flank play, especially when we're up 1, and getting angles on their backline. Because if we're all playing for me, it's going to be hard. As you can see, you feel like you need to push past the cart, which is your cover, to do anything. Even though your ult gives you auto aim, you still kind of aim so you can direct where you want your shots to go. Alright. So, technically we could go and watch the whole rest of the game, right? But realistically, we don't really need to. So what I would say for improvements, right? And we'll write notes here because notes are awesome, right? Boom. All right, so I would say these 3 things you should focus on. Focus on improving in your aim, right? Because at this point right now, that's going to be a big thing holding you back. If you can't get kills, finish kills, or even set up damage, it's going to be really hard to climb because things are, as a damage character, that's literally your job. Map knowledge. Knowing where health packs are will make it easier so you don't always feel like you have to play Soldier, something that's very self-sustainable. You can kind of walk around knowing that you'll always have a little bit of healing somewhere, especially if your healers aren't near you. As well as just playing more. You're going to play more anyways. Playing the game's fun, right? But just learn more interactions. Learn what abilities do what, how long do they usually last, and like what matchups are good and bad. For example, Reaper is insane up close, but if you try to take a poke fight with him, you're gonna beat him every time. He's really bad at far ranges. I think that's obvious, right? So, other than that, that's gonna be all for this video. I know I typically go a little bit longer, a little bit more in depth, but this is just the beginning, and I don't really think that's really necessary. No reason to overfeed our boy Blaze. You know, he just needs to know a little bit, and then as he gets better, we'll go more and more in depth, as well as we'll figure out if he has improved at certain things or if he still needs to improve on certain things, right? So, with that being said, like I said, that's all for today. If you enjoyed this content, don't be afraid to leave a like and comment down below. All right, take care, everybody. I'll see you in the next one, hopefully. And that is it. The end.